We all know the classic story about the warrior, fighting to be the very best, defeating the enemies. But what happens when you keep failing? You keep trying, but you don't quite succeed. Where do you turn to? Do you turn to training? Do you give up? What about managing a tea shop? Well, Wanderstop, we do just that. Let's dive in.
I can stop. I can stop running. This is good for me. I need to enjoy this. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Hey there everybody, my name is Warwick and welcome to Warwick Reviews. Hope you're doing well. Fantastic to see you here, really appreciate it. My name is Warwick, as Warwick Reviews. I also stream on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Warwick, and also on various socials where you may be. But today we're going to be reviewing a game called Wanderstop. I do want to say a big shout out to the team for the review code, I really appreciate it. And what we're going to be doing here, as we always do, is go through the game, what it's all about, my thoughts and feelings, and anything else that may be interesting to you. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you make sure you do not miss out on any other future videos. And also I have plenty more videos down below, not just on games, but on products, gaming products, on TTRPGs, and all sorts. I'm sure you'll be able to find something down below. But without further ado, let's begin. So Wanderstop is a cozy, narrative-centric experience where you play as Alta, a fallen warrior, as she adjusts to life while managing the tea shop. So what happens is, so you start the game, you've got the basic setting where you are as Alta, you go through her story, and she is a warrior fighting to be the very best, always knowing to win, always defeat her foes. But we find in a place where she keeps failing. She keeps being defeated and she can't figure out why. So she tries to sort of enlist the help of a special warrior that she feels she can get training from and to get back to her best. So while out trying to find her, Alta finds herself feeling more weak, more sort of tired, and actually passes out. Well, thankfully, we have the help of Borrow, who finds us in the forest, and we come across Wanderstop, which is their tea shop, and he's basically suggests to say, hey, maybe just take a little bit off, rest a little bit, maybe help me run the tea shop. And that's what we do. And this is the basis of the game. So with the help of Burrow and the other wanderers who stumble into the clearing, Alta will settle into attending into the space, making tea for customers and finding happiness in a new routine. As I said, that's basically the game. So you are playing Alta and you are sort of learning the ropes. So there's a really good tutorial where it talks you and sort of shows you how the game works. So it is about making tea, but it's a bit more about that and stuff. So you're speaking to Borrow, a dialogue choices that you could choose to sort of tailor the dialogue how you prefer. I will say, before we go any further, I will say the cutscenes are voiced throughout the game. It's only text, but you can sort of skip through them if you want to. There's only voice sort of acting during the cutscenes, but it's easy to follow, easy to read. So like I said, you're speaking to Burrow and you're sort of learning, reluctantly wanting to help, and he talks you through how to sort of create these things. So there are different plants, like small plants, large plants, sort of hybrids, and depending on what types of plants and hybrids you make, depending on what sort of tea you make. And so we learn sort of the basis of how to make a tea. So we go through the different steps about how planting it, where to plant them. So depending on where you plant them, depending on what sort of type of plant you get from that, and then gathering tea leaves and how that works. So you've got mechanics like a basket where you pick up tea leaves around sort of the area, sort of the grove, basically. You collect them, you dry them out, and then you get sort of making into tea. And you've got this amazing sort of machine contraption where different steps where you have to fill the water, boil the water, go around, fill in what tea, what flavors you want in that, and then pour it, and you make your first cup of tea. And then sort of the game opens up. You start having sort of wanders around sort of the clearing. So you have this knight or self-acclaimed knight. You have like this wizard in training, and as these people come through, they have different needs and wants of teas. So for example, the knight will be like talking and say, hey, I need a tea that will give me energy. So one of the things about the game is there's this tea guide, which is really great. So you can sort of go into it and it will give you an idea of what to do and how to do things. So it has different tabs and also shows you requests. So you can see for like the night, you can see, hey, they want this type of tea. So you go through, have a look around, and it will talk about sort of different types of flavors in a way that what it does, it won't sort of tell you how to do it unless you've unlocked it. But we found one where it says, hey, this sort of energy like caffeine. So go make that. So you sort of look around, you sort of mess around with sort of different plants and you find things around around the clearing and sort of experiment and to find different types of fruits, and those fruits will be flavored into the tea. So we find this one that's the caffeine one. Knight loves it, and the same with the wizard. There's a different type of one, and so with these you tailor it to the customer. There's no time limit with anything that you're making, so it's not like you had to get this done within a certain time. You can very much take your time with this. It's not like it's precious, like, okay, this person wants this tea but they need it in like 5 minutes, so you can literally take potentially hours to just run around doing what you want and then make the tea. Everyone seems very chill here, which is absolutely great. Another thing as well, you can also drink the tea yourself, and that actually opens up insight into Alta. So we learned obviously Alta is a fallen warrior. We don't know why she's wanting to keep going or keep fighting, like there's a reason why, but she's obviously quite closed, really sort of sharing. But with the different teas that you have, you can take your time to sit down in various different seats around the area, and they will open up dialogue where you learn a bit more about why she's doing what she's doing, why she wants to keep fighting, and realizing that actually maybe there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Outside of that, you got sort of the various sort of mechanics in like any sort of crafting game. So you can like sort of sweep, get rid of weeds. You can pick up these little bird things. You can pet them. They will sometimes steal items. So sometimes they will be running around with an item. So you have to sort of shake them and take it off them, which is very cute. Also, if you walk with them or run with them, they actually make a noise with you, which is adorable. Absolutely love that. I've also with the settings, seems to be a lot of settings in here. So there's various elements like got subtitles for any of the voice dialogue. You can also change the subtitle font or the fonts to dyslexic, which is great to see. Colorblind mode, you got other options, so you can sort of tell your controller, but you can leave it auto or PlayStation or Xbox. And what's great is when you click on your preferred and you go to controller, it actually shows you that controller. I know it sounds like a really small thing, but it's the small details which really makes this for me. So you change, hey, I want PlayStation controller. You go to controller setting and it shows you the picture of the PlayStation controller. So it actually shows you how it looks like, which is great. Love that. Love that. And you got like audio, you got visuals, you got your various settings. There seems to be quite a lot there, which is nice to see. And yeah, and that's basically the game. I don't say it basically game in any sort of bad way. I had a really nice time with this game. It builds the sort of story quite well. Like I really like the art and the styling of it, and you sort of learning about Alta and sort of learning the ropes. And I felt like while it does sound like a lot to remember, it walks you through it and you feel like you are learning, and I seem to pick up quite quickly, which was great. I will say if you don't, there are sort of like a cheat guide, which is a really nice touch. So there's a book of answers where if you need any answers, it will basically answer them for you. So if you are sort of like waiting for a tea or you're stuck with something and you're like, I don't know how to make this, you can access the book. It's in the library in the top of the shop. It's very tailored to be a nice sort of cozy, chill game with sort of a more of like a hidden meaning to it as well. But it's like a cozy game where it's not stress. It's not like, well, if you don't know it, tough. It's very much like, hey, you know what? If you want to explore it, play around. That's what they want you to do. They want you sort of experiment with types of plants and fruits and stuff to find out what works and what things you can make. But if you are feeling stuck, there is sort of like that sort of book that can help you so you're not feeling like stressed in any way. Now, outside of sort of the game itself looks incredible. Looks the whole shop outside around it. There seem to be different types of areas within the clearing, which is really nice. I feel with the tea element and sort of the different elements that they presented in this game gives it a bit of a different feel, which I really liked. And I honestly think it's something that people need to check out. And also, if you loved your tea, I think you'll get a massive kick out of this. I really do. Like, they seem to have, there's a lot of passion, a lot of love behind this. Like the team here, Ivy Road, is an independent game development studio that's run by Davey Worden, which worked on Stanley Parable, also with other teams who worked on BioShock, Minecraft. And so there's different elements with those games. So the crafting mechanics sort of thing. Stanley Parable, where if you've played that game, there's a lot of lore in that game, let's put it that way. And I feel like with this game, there will be a lot of secrets. But yeah, great game, really fun, really nice. Definitely something that I want to keep playing. It feels like something that I could really sort of just, if I need to wind down for an hour or even 30 minutes, I can just pick up, carry on playing. I can just go do a bit of weeding for a little while. I can play around with some fruits and plants and stuff, sit on a bench and just sort of watch the world go by. And honestly, I think it's a great game and I hope everyone checks it out. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Again, thank you to Wanderstop and the team behind it for review code. I really appreciate it. I really do. Again, my name is Warwick. I mainly stream on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Warwick. And also I do videos here, not just on games, but on products, on TTRPGs, on all sorts, and also in various socials where you may be. But thank you so much for watching. Please take care, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.